This word right here, Hibernian. You've never seen this word before in your life. This was the old name for Ireland. Now, why don't they show you this word anymore? Everybody got a King James version of the Bible. This was the old name for Ireland. And Jamaicans today say Irie to say what? Everything is all right? In what language? There's none. Irie does not mean everything is all right in no language in the earth. Irie was a signal for Jamaicans to point to other brothers that came on the same slave ship from them to say that they were transported from Ireland. This word right here, Hibernian.
There are those.
Hey, this is President Lincoln in the Emancipation Proclamation giving a direct message to who?
The people so declared to be free.
The black slaves who are now so declared to be free. Me and you. Right? So we should listen up, right, black man? This is the message that Abraham Lincoln is giving.
Captain Tazariak.
Hey,
Captain Tazariak has a debate,
Hey, this is President Lincoln in the Emancipation Proclamation giving a direct message to who?
The people so declared to be free.
The black slaves who are now so declared to be free. Me and you. Right? So we should listen up, right, black man? This is the message that Abraham Lincoln is giving us in the Emancipation Proclamation. Keep going.
And I recommend to them.
And I do what?
And I recommend to them.
And I do what?
And I recommend to them.
Keep going.
That in all cases,
when
allowed, they labor faithfully.
They do what?
They labor faithfully.
They do what?
They labor faithfully.
Keep going.
For reasonable wages.
Well, goddamn. Black man, those are the terms and conditions of your freedom here in America.
Captain Tazariak has a battle coming up with Shaka Atmos. If you're not 100% sure who Cap is going to be battling on April 8th, let's get a good look at him. Here he is. Listen, just in case if you don't know who Shaka Atmos is that Captain Tazariak is battling, we want our viewers to get a quick look at the.
Wait, I'm telling you, this is a hardcore. I'm telling you, this is a hardcore brother.
All the lies you've been told, baby, let me set you straight. What we did back then was great. You just don't know. Let me show you the past so your future can look bright.
Here we are, Kevin Killer himself.
Captain Tazariak of ISUPK, under Commander General Hunter.
And me again. We just finished watching John Wick 4, enjoying our Passover break. What you thought, sir?
I thought it was a fire-ass movie. I thought it was a real good movie. A lot of action, so it was pretty good. It was enjoyable.
Captain Kataza? I thought it was fantastic. So what time? When y'all leaving for Passover?
We leaving about 2 in the morning. 2 in the morning. Me and Kataza, we're gonna hit the road, head down, man. Looking forward to seeing the brothers and sisters. It's gonna be a beautiful event. Looking forward to it.
Captain Kataza? All right. So listen, Passover, the Lord's 54th annual Passover, April 1st, down there in North Carolina, Raleigh. We'll see y'all there. Shalom.
Right. Shalom, Israel. Shalom.
Shalom, shalom, Israel.
I brought out how Aaron Lopez started the first synagogue in America. Famous slave trader, right? Nathaniel Bridges, who was the captain of the slave ships from Aaron Lopez. I showed his log book where he says he went to the slave coast. I mean, listen, he brought him back to Barbados.
Real fast.
I mean, jump a bomb. Look at Aaron Lopez, Nathaniel Bridges. These are famous people, famous Jewish people who own slaves.
Right.
Slave trade built the Jewish community in America. I brought out how
visit Addictive Chaos as you can see this lovely.
We can't see it.
We make artifacts. Give that a head.
Damn, look at them diamonds.
Give that a hand.
Look at them diamonds. Turn it around a little bit. Turn it around a little bit.
Let's see the size. the side. See the
Oh,
side.
no.
1969. What the other side say?
What's the other side?
Say?
Oh!
One West, baby.
Drop
It's
a
going
bomb.
down.
Drop a bomb.
Visit Addictive. Listen, man, shout out to all the sponsors of the All Black Party. Mama Sense, give that a hand. You already know what's going down. Get all your skincare products from Mama Sense. Mama Sense, give that a hand. And listen, Mama Sense is still flowing. That's what I'm talking about. Also, a big shout out to Mama Sense. Give that a hand. The best soaps, the best deodorant. If you want to have that natural flair about you, check out Mama Sense, man.
Mic check 1 2. Yeah. What's going on, y'all? Just let it be known. How y'all feeling? Ashar, what's good, man? How you feeling?
Like a terrific Taino.
Terrific Taino.
Yeah, to think about it for a second. Like, how am I feeling?
Well, listen, man. I'm Officer 5000 Karab in the building. You know what I'm saying? We got Officer 5000 Ashar, the mighty Taino.
Yes.
Listen, the sound effects ain't working yet. It's charging. You know what I'm saying? The bombs is charging on the iPad right now. But boy young, you know what I'm saying? Boy young, as the bombs go up. Right next to me is Officer 1000 Yawa Allah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I get money.
Of everything.
I get money.
You know what I'm saying? Soon, hopefully, we will
Wait,
have
what'd you say?
what?
I get money. I get money.
You know,
I ain't got it. I ain't got it. You know what I'm saying?
You see the
Don't ask
neck?
me.
You see
Don't
the
ask-
neck?
Don't ask me for nothing. You know what I mean?
you know what I'm saying? With a diamond toothpick. Don't ask
Shout out
me
Paid in
for
Full.
nothing. Don't ask me for nothing. I'm
Hey.
broke.
I ain't got nothing but love for you. That's it. You know what I mean? Handshakes.
Word. Listen, join us shortly will be Harya Allah. I want to say what's up to our boy Shalaya Allah. He out there, the man of the hour, the prince of the power. Shalaya Allah. You know what I'm saying? He out there, he listening, you know what I'm saying? But you know, it's another week, another Let It Be Known. I don't know what episode it is. I'm sorry. You know
I think
what
we're
I'm
on the unknown series.
Is it
The unknown
The
tapes.
lost tapes.
Lost tapes.
saying? Whatever. We got to the point. It's up there, y'all. It's 80, just whatever you want it to be. If this
Up
is
there.
if it's your first episode of Let It Be Known, it's number 1. You know what I'm saying? If it's your 4th episode of Let It Be Known, it's the 4th episode. You know what I'm saying?
Have it your way.
Right. But how everybody doing? What's going on?
Make sure y'all like, subscribe, and share. Share this to your mama, your dad.
Absolutely.
Tell your grandmother. Make your kids watch it. Put it on their little tablets. You know,
Especially mamas.
just-
Especially
everyone
mamas.
subscribe.
Absolutely. But how everybody week? How was it?
Well,
It was okay. It was okay. I'm recovering. I was sick. You know what I mean? I'm recovering. And the devil's still deviling.
Listen,
He's still deceiving.
Yeah,
he's
he
still
out
the
there.
He's still the
He's
what I mean?
out there oppressing the oppressed. You know what I'm saying? Ashar, how you
Yeah,
feeling,
man.
man?
I'm feeling pretty good. I'm glad to be alive. I want to thank
By the
God.
way, he has a
I want to hear
in a
I
bun.
want to think. Listen, all right, man.
He got the messy bun. You got to
Listen,
hear in a bun.
I need my hair braided. Shout out all the single women that braid hair. I need my hair braided.
Listen, that's how it would be, man.
That's
Listen,
it.
Cool and
Taino.
conditioned.
listen, man, that's what happens when you're a wrestler at night. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Alicia Libre after
think so.
12. You know what I'm saying? That happens, man. But listen,
Yourself, sir, how you feeling?
listen, I'm here, man. I'm here. Another day, another dollar that the oppressor takes away.
Exactly.
You know, so it's technically 99 cents
Man,
Shout out the slave master.
shout out for the triple tax.
for the triple tax, right?
Yeah, I get tax when I make the money. I pay tax when I spend the money. Tax when they receive the money. Like, what? Come on now. Why am I getting taxed on tax money that's been taxed? Make
That
no
they're gonna
sense.
tax you again.
Yeah.
Listen,
But Coca-Cola pays no tax.
I got the answer.
Meanwhile, I'm getting taxed 3 times.
listen, it be like that, man. Be like that. What you got, Ashar?
I have the answer to all these problems.
Mm-hmm.
It's very simple.
What would that be?
The white man is the.
Listen, that's how you get it. You gotta put that on a shirt, man. We gotta put that on a shirt
when he
one
in
day,
charge,
man.
you know, that this is what it looks like.
That'd be a good children's book.
Listen,
the white man is the.
And you decide.
War Report, I got something for y'all. You know what I mean? He getting even craftier.
Listen,
You're gonna
it be
pay
like that.
more money.
Yeah.
You're gonna be paying more money. You know
Mm.
what I mean? Listen, the digital age is a way to take more money out your hands. You know what I mean? Listen, governments are catching up with AI,
Right.
and they ain't using it for what you're using it for.
Mm.
They ain't making pictures of themselves as kings and queens. That's
Right.
not what they're doing. They're using it for evil.
Evil.
They're using it to take the last penny you got.
Listen, we don't even got pennies. That's the funny part. He taking you for your clothes, your shoes. Yeah, con. It don't matter. It don't matter. Just as a drink. It don't matter. He's taking you for all that. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about it, right? You thinking you gonna make it in this world by if I work an extra hour, extra overtime, extra this, realizing none of that matters.
Nope.
None of that matters. You just making more money, and they just tax you even more. Listen, get the raise. You get annually a check of $2,000,
and then inflation goes up.
Yeah, inflation goes up. So
Take
when
that
you
too.
get that raise, you basically making the same thing you was making before.
Man.
Ain't nothing different. You understand? But listen, Ashar out there getting drinks. We were about to get into the war report. You know what I'm saying? So tell us about the war report. What we got right now?
Listen, man. They using AI with the cameras.
So you're
Now-
saying the new iPhone 15, the new iPhone 15 is gonna have AI in it. The water.
Listen, man, it's terrible because we already don't like red light cameras, right? Because how do you fight that? Can I face my accuser in court?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's already unconstitutional. Y'all might not understand that. Y'all might not really understand it because it's happening, but red light cameras are unconstitutional.
Mm.
You know what I mean? To try to combat that, they said, well, no, it's a civil thing now. Right? And it's like, all right, well, then you got to prove it was me in the car. You know what I'm saying? If it was
Right.
a civil matter, because they took a picture of the license plate, you don't know who driving.
Right.
Why am I getting this ticket?
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's really not constitutional. Now what they're trying to do, they're trying to have AI cameras take pictures of you in your car.
Mm.
So if you holding your phone, people don't know. You can't be holding your phone while you're driving. Everyone does it though,
Everybody
right?
don't give a damn.
If
We
you
out
hold-
there
if you
holding
hold-
our phone.
If you're holding your phone while you in your car, no cops around.
Right.
Camera got it on you. If you don't got your seatbelt on, you thinking like, hey, cop ain't even catch you.
Right.
Camera got you.
Mm.
Camera got you. You ain't run a red light or nothing.
So the white man gonna get you one day or one step or another. You ain't gonna just slide thinking you're gonna go through a light or put up this and that. He's gonna catch you, and now he's using AI. That's the crazy part. All those little things gadgets we use to cover up the license plate and do this and put a mask on. He gonna know.
Here's the thing too, right? People don't know with the red light cameras, they use that little flash
Right.
to get a picture of your license plate because your license plate is reflective.
Right.
I mean, it makes a crisp picture. They don't need to flash nothing into your windshield. Your windshield ain't tinted. You know what I'm saying? They don't even so you won't even know the picture was taken.
Mm.
You may not even know that because it ain't a red light camera.
Right.
Your app ain't gonna tell you. You may not even know there's a camera over there.
Right.
No warning.
Mm.
Just get a bill in the mail. And they already start implementing it in the UK.
Mm. Listen, they've been fighting it in the UK. They've been destroying those things.
They've been
man.
destroying them cameras in the UK.
Listen, we're destroying them, and that's what. Let me not say it. You know what I'm saying? Let me not encourage people to go out there and do that. But listen, somebody gotta do something about these cameras.
And this is the first step. You have to understand, like, it's just gonna get worse.
Right.
It's just gonna get worse.
Listen, and you know the thing about it is, you come to New York, we got all types of stuff. MTA acting crazy. You got Easy Pass acting crazy. You got these cameras. Listen, we don't know what to do.
Easy Pass is about to have a class action lawsuit.
Listen, I know they are because they're their own separate entity in New York.
And what they have been doing is they've been not sending you the bill.
Right.
So people thinking like, well, what's the big deal with Easy Pass? What Easy Pass has been doing as a tactic, they've been not sending you the bill, right? So you don't even know to pay it. and then you acquire late fees and late fees.
Right.
Then they send you the bill. You know what I mean? It's a way of like doubling their money.
Right.
If you was going to get 200,000 this year, right? And someone told you like, listen, if you just hold it for 2 months, you'll get 400,000 without any new anything.
Right.
You would do it, and that's what they're doing. They're literally not sending you the bill that you owe, so it can acquire more charges. Then they'll send it to you. You're forced to pay it.
Right.
You know what I mean? What are you going to do? That's the issue with a lot of these things. They have no recourse to really fight it.
Mm.
You know what I mean? They send you a picture, you crossing the red light, done. But what you don't know is you actually can fight it. And most of the time when you fight it, they're going to throw it out because they can't actually afford to have everyone go into court. Yeah, I mean, court is already flooded. That's why they making everyone plea deals, because everyone took it to trial.
Right.
There's not enough hours in the day.
And that just shows you when you band together with a brotherhood, you can do whatever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it goes back to, I remember we talking in the car about what were we talking about? With them banding together, it would help out.
Everything, really.
no, but it was a certain situation. I know we was talking about Deion Sanders.
Oh, man.
You know what I'm saying? Prime time. You know, they hated him.
I've been.
You know what I'm saying? Right now, prime time is making prime time again. Prime news.
Listen, I don't even watch football, and I'm watching college football, man.
Right.
Like what he has been doing has been amazing. Down there 3-0. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And listen, the rival coach was talking about him.
That's what it was.
Having his interview,
right,
with shades on and a hat on. Listen, Deion linked up with a company, Blenders, to come up with their own shade lines. They sold 1 million in one day.
But the thing about it, right, when we was talking about in the car, is they injured one of the players during like the game,
right?
Like after a play, damn near
the late hit.
And you know, and the thing is, they all coming together collectively. All the football teams are come against Deion. You know what I'm saying? Come against Primetime. Talking about we can't let him win no more games. We can't let him get to the goddamn championship. So in the midst of talking, we like, damn, if brothers and sisters would come together when they hear them say this, just because the brother's nice, just because it's prime time, but goddamn, like, listen, he's one of our superstars.
Right.
It's not like he's somebody else or no one we can relate to. That's all of us. If we all wonder goddamn louder, what would you do? The same thing he would be doing. I got a watch on, I got shades on, you got up there diamond chains and cars. You move to goddamn what? Florida, right? Next to the beach or the Bahamas. You do whatever the same thing he's doing. And guess what? They hate it. They hate that They hate that he's flaunted. But the problem is he can back it up.
Right.
That's what the problem is. They hate that he can back up everything he says. He said, "There's no way you're gonna win the football championship and then play baseball after this." He did it.
Did it.
You know what I'm saying? He scored a touchdown and a damn home run at the same time.
He's worth his weight.
Yeah, he's worth his weight, and they hate it. So listen, if you're on the football team and the students, if you're a so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, we should just leave. If all the students collectively just left and let the white play, let them have their college football and just stand next to Deion Sanders, you know how great that would be? That would shut everything down.
Look what's happening with just the few people that are aligning themselves with his team.
Right.
Flying out to Colorado, showing their support. It's building the momentum. The ticket prices is over $500 now.
Right.
This is a team that went 1-11 last year.
Right.
You know, only won one game, and now they have the highest ticket prices in all of college football.
Damn right.
Come on now. Look what happens if you band together.
Right. And that's why it's important. That's why it's always important for brothers and sisters to remember to band together. Even with this AI thing we about to go in. Oh, Ashar, you got the article real quick? Yeah, put that up. Well, just read a little bit of it. Don't have it so long, but
AI cameras in the UK start surveilling inside vehicles.
Inside. Just keep that in mind.
Right.
In a move that veers into Big Brother territory, a newly implemented AI camera system tagged as pioneering technology by proponents has caught nearly 300 drivers neglecting their seatbelts or using their phones in just 3
in
days.
just 3 days.
That's crazy.
Remember, it's not everywhere. So, and where it's at, right? There's a test running it. They already got 300 people in just 3 days. You gotta pay that fine. Listen, even if the fine was $25, you know how much money they generate? That's just 3 days. Listen, if you think they ain't gonna implement that everywhere, you out your mind.
Yeah, they are. In 3 days,
Cities are looking at that like.
And you know, it's always the small test first. It's a small test. Let's see how much we could catch. 300. I know they was surprised. Like 300.
Come on now.
300
in 3 days.
We barely could get that on a regular basis.
Listen, just imagine how much traffic it got to be for it to be 300 in 3 days.
Huh? Oh, yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's true, man. Listen, it's gonna get worse. And you know the funny thing about it, we're gonna willingly take it.
Right.
You're gonna willingly, you know why? Because you're gonna go get your iPhones, you're gonna download this app, you're gonna do this, and they're gonna do it by little prizes. Like, yo, you want something, this prize, download this. Take this instead of this, and we're gonna do it.
Right.
Like we always do. And the problem is behind these little apps and sweepstakes or whatever it is, there's the subscription of this app or whatever you sign up for, is this behind it.
Right. Right. You got to look at it like a hidden tax. You know what I'm saying? Look at it like a hidden tax.
Right.
Like that's like taxes going up. Like if they implement that in your town, taxes in your town went up.
Right.
Because you're going to be paying this.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like really think about that. That is going to be money generated for the city, not for you. Your neighborhood is still garbage.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? None of this money, there's nowhere that says this money has to do anything. You know what I mean? Who allocates where this money goes? Who voted for this? No one. Like this is, you got to really think about it. This is how you lose your freedoms.
Absolutely.
Right? Implementing things that tax the public that hasn't been voted on. No one agreed to it. No one wants it. And it's hidden behind AI. Right? Because when it's AI, people don't fight against it as much. If it was a person, if a person said, I'm gonna take $25 from everyone's check, niggas will throw a brick at them, tomatoes, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But when it's AI, you don't think nothing about it.
Right.
Who you gonna throw the brick at?
You throw the brick at the damn camera, you know. So log it. I ain't telling you what to do. I ain't telling you what to do.
That was easy.
I ain't telling you what to do.
You know what I mean? I'm just saying.
That was easy.
The problem is people think that dystopia happens suddenly.
Right.
You watch a movie and it's a dystopia, you're like, damn, that could never happen to us. It didn't happen in a day.
Right.
This is how it happens.
Absolutely.
Slowly but surely.
And the thing about it, right, is this is why, like I just said, we need to band together.
Right.
Because, you know, they banding together to make all these inventions for us. And there's things we don't even know about yet. You understand? There's things we even get up to the point yet where they're going to be like, you know what, just throw the whole book at them.
Yeah.
Throw the whole book at them. They ain't going to, can't do this without, can't talk to this, such and such without getting your check. Can't do this without getting gas. Can't do this without eating. Can't do this without going to the supermarket.
Listen, China has the social credit score.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you can't travel. And I don't think people understand when we say that. Listen, you can't.
Right.
Do you understand? If you have a low credit score, a social credit score in China, you can't buy a plane ticket. You can't buy a train ticket.
Right.
You can't travel. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And they slowly implementing it here.
Right.
First, by making everything cashless.
You know what's funny? They laughed at, you know, before COVID, we used to laugh at the Chinese and Asians would put it on masks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What they wearing masks for over there?
Look at
It was just a cough, a sniffle. Now look at that. Now look, COVID
look
and
at
all
you.
that. Everybody wearing a mask. I can't get you coughing, sneezing.
Yeah.
So back over there, man.
Whoa.
6 feet.
Was that 2 sneezes in 10 minutes?
Right.
What you got?
Listen, remember that out here in New York, boy, you used to do that in the subway.
Niggas used to count your coughs.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's a third time you cough, brother. You good?
Lysol and Clorox was like $20 per bottle.
Yeah, listen, it was more than that.
Yeah.
They was hustling that the Lysol and the Clorox, the toilet paper. Don't forget that. They was hustling the what you call it, the hand sanitizer. Remember?
Listen, think of this. Think of this. A way to control the public is one, keep them poor. Because if you keep them poor, they're gonna be spending on their will. Paycheck to paycheck don't give you room to do nothing but work.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like this is the problem with the pandemic. There was nothing to do.
Right.
So people start thinking. And what's the first thing that happened after the pandemic?
More jobs. I mean, more businesses.
But also the biggest riot ever.
Right.
Like BLM was one of the biggest. It was worldwide. There was rioting worldwide. It's not a mistake that happened when there was no football, no basketball,
right?
No job. There was no bread or entertainment. They learned from that. They learn once you sit down, you start thinking about your condition.
Right.
So we gotta have you not sit down. Keep working. Go to work. Go to work. You know what I mean? All the money's gonna be digital and it's going to expire.
And that's the thing.
If you don't spend this money,
listen,
it's going to expire.
It's a difference between when you tell people, here's your money and here's your money until this. Because black people like spending money, but you don't tell a black person when to spend their money.
Yeah.
They don't like that. We don't like that at all.
If money expires, there's no saving.
Right.
And for them, they think that's good for the economy, right? It keeps the money rotating, but is it good for you?
Right. And
they're
that's
the
the
only ones
problem.
benefiting from the economy. You know what I mean?
Right.
People don't know the top 1% own 50% of all stocks. 50. They are the economy. You know what I'm saying? You think you're the economy, you're just a worker. You're just spinning your wheels. And that right there, that article, that's showing the next implication. If you run a red light, if you have a seatbelt on, no one's around, by the way. There's no victim to this crime.
Right.
You're holding your phone. Just understand there's going to be a time where if you jaywalk.
Right.
Because it's like that in China now. If you listen, China has their social credit score system hooked up to your bank accounts with WeChat. So if you jaywalk, they don't just give you a ticket. They take it out your account
instantly.
Yes, I don't know if people understand what we're saying. You don't get a chance to. No, they take it. They take it. What if that was your dinner?
You know what's
What if
funny?
he was going to get dinner?
The thing about it happens to us now. Because think about it. You be like, damn, I got like $5 left. And what happens? Apple Pay. Apple Pay comes out. Like, damn, Apple, they took that.
Took it.
You know what I'm saying? But just imagine it on a bigger scale. Imagine it. And sometimes you live in New York, you just so used to doing certain things until they implement it without you even knowing. Right. So you doing this, you jaywalking, you hopping the turnstile, you doing this and doing that. You go home. Like, what the hell is all these charges?
Where's my money?
Right.
Gotcha.
Right.
Where's my money? And here's something people don't think about. Like most of these transit systems, there's no free version.
Right.
Right. It's adverse to poor people.
It's always adverse.
Think about
to poor
this.
people.
If you in the city, right?
Right.
Say you live in wherever you live, you bought a Metro card, right? You went to the city, right? What happens when you lose your Metro card?
That's that.
Explain how you get home.
You gotta find a way to get home.
Explain. You don't have money. You spent the money. You spent the travel money on the Metro card. Explain how you get home. There's no free version.
Right.
I was told once by one of the MT workers behind the cubicle and the bulletproof glass in the subway.
That says a lot. Go ahead.
Right. To use the proof of my receipt that I used on my bank statement to show that I spent the money and fill out some form to submit it.
How do you get home?
I asked kindly if they can open the gate.
Nah, we do what we gotta do.
First of all, if it's late, there be no people in the booth.
They never in the booth anyway now.
There be no one there. That's
There's
how
no
people
one there
listen.
now.
That's how people are jumping turnstiles. Everybody there.
And even if they are there, they don't care about you jumping turnstiles.
You gonna jump a turnstile. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no free version.
Right.
And they only up in the prices. Like, this is by design. Mm-hmm. Now, what if you jump that turnstile and boom, there's a cop hiding, you know, he got the cuffs on, and you know what I'm saying? Now you got a ticket.
Right.
Now you in the negative.
Like $1.25, $1.50.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Does he still let you go?
Nope.
Just think about that.
Now go back over. Damn, how do I get
the ticket?
Get home.
Yeah, that still didn't solve the problem of how do you get home.
You're gonna have to chalk it up and take the long route.
Listen, man. And walk 30 miles.
You gotta take the bike route. You know what I'm saying? You gotta take the AKA when 9/11 happened, people had to walk home.
Now understand, this is by design.
Right.
It's designed to keep you poor, to keep you paying in, to keep you on the hamster wheel.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because there ain't no free version.
It never will be a free version.
You better have
this is the free version right now.
You better have it.
This is the free version you're getting right now before they implement all these AI things.
And they're implementing them.
Right.
This is your future. This is your future. Let's read a little bit more of the article. Just a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Because we kind of get the gist of it, but that's your future.
It says, this technological marvel installed along one of Devon and Cornwall's busiest roads has sparked concerns over free speech and potential overreach of surveillance, especially now that actions taking place inside of vehicles are being surveyed. Drawing on data from the Department of Transport's road casualty report, a staggering 24% of fatalities were passengers not wearing a seatbelt. Between June 2021 and June 2022, 29,804 people were tragically killed or grievously injured on British roads.
And that's how they get the okay
to do it,
to look in your car.
Right.
You know, niggas can't just search your car.
Right.
But they can, right? Because they can. Or do you think the police is just gonna follow the rules?
Right. Listen, man.
This is where we're going.
And we know this is where they're going.
And look, people look at that. And why is a war report? This is a war. It's a war on you.
Right.
This
on
isn't
us.
This isn't back in the day. You know what I'm saying? This isn't, we're gonna go to war with Serbia. No. You are, listen, we're at a point now, especially in this country, we're so rich and all that stuff. You are the target.
Right.
It ain't Latvia. You know what I'm saying?
You're the test specimen.
You are the target.
Right.
They go on a war with you. You know what I mean? And it's the reason they had the Constitution, because overreach always happens. They try to prevent it, and now they're trying to, go around it through technology. Because the problem is technology moves fast. Legislation moves slow. Right? So if they align themselves technologically, they're not going to need you to okay it.
Right.
That's going to take years.
And by that time, they already did what they
got 300 people in 3 days.
Right.
Well, what happens? Say they get it taken out in 2 years. How much money they generated from you? From you. You know what I'm saying? That was just in one location. One. Imagine it around your city. Imagine they start using other versions of it, like in China.
Imagine it in your house.
Man.
Damn, the city. It's going to be in your house. It's going to be in your phones. It's going to be in your bathroom. It's going to be in your bedroom.
And you letting it in.
And it's going to be on your TVs. It's going to be everywhere. Your children are going to play with it.
Sounds like iRobot with Will Smith.
It is iRobot.
Let me explain something to you. Everyone watching, if I say Alexa or I say Siri, something in your house starts responding. Right? Which means it's listening.
Point proven. Alexa, stop.
Point proven. Meaning it's listening. It's not just listening for what you want it to listen. It listens to everything.
Right.
And also, what you don't know, what you may not know, is taking a transcript of everything it hears. And that data is going back to Amazon.
Right.
Guess who's buying that data? ICE.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, your local police departments, Homeland Security. So it's the same as them placing something in your house, but you did it.
Then where's that?
Because you thought it was friendly and nice.
Yeah, no, it sounds great.
It's like buying the good guy doll for your kid, and then it turns into be Chucky.
Yeah. Hey, listen, my Siri speaks with a European accent, a foreign Siri.
Oh no, that's what I got.
But in reality, it's taking note of everything, listening to everything, and that metadata goes back to their servers. And police, they just buy it. Why get a warrant? Why do I have to go to a judge, plead a case to a judge, and have the judge think, "Oh, you don't need this"? No, when I can just buy it. We're making so much money off these cameras. We'll just buy it.
Right, buy the data.
But what's the budget of the NYPD?
I believe it's over. I think it might be $6 billion.
11.
Okay, I was short, big time.
That's more than
Half.
That's more than some countries' military budget.
More than Ukraine's.
Right.
Yeah, this is one city. There's a, I mean, you say state, but city. You know what I mean? They'll buy the data. ICE is just buying your data and appearing at your court dates. Am I lying? Do people go to court who are legal when they come out? ICE is standing right there.
Right.
How do you know you're there? You're not registered. How do you think they know you're there? They buying the data.
Mm-hmm.
This is the war on you. You are the target. So behave as such. Turn some of that shit off. You know what I'm saying? I know it seemed cool. Listen, Google some shit. Don't have some shit listening to your whole conversation all day.
Right.
Why does your refrigerator has to be smart? You know what I mean?
Listen, they got smart fridges. Like, you already got a phone. The phone could do everything.
Everything. You can't turn it off.
You understand? So relax with the talking toaster and the
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Your fridge that tells you the weather and instant ice.
Exactly.
And then inside, it's writing all the transcripts of your house.
Yeah.
Oh, in the morning time it's like this, or it's busy, or this and that. It
knows when you're there. It's like Santa Claus.
Right.
Knows when you're sleeping, knows when you're
and
awake.
that's the thing. It's gonna record your patterns. All right, he goes in the fridge around this time every day, so he's usually home this time. No one opens the fridge around this time.
And you don't own the data.
Right.
And I'm telling you, the police are buying that data. They're just buying it from you.
Right.
From these companies. Because the company, it's free money for the companies. They're not doing nothing.
And the thing about it opens up another door of not just these companies, but freelancers. You understand? You don't know who else out there. These child takers and molesters and all the stuff that's going on, missing women and this. They want to find out how they home, who they live with.
Exactly.
Yeah, what's your phone number? What you eat? What you don't eat? They want to find out all this so they can do whatever disgusting thing that they want to do to us. And that's the problem. The problem is it's going to lead into bigger things. It's not just the companies. It's not just this. You got to think about the small people, even if on the black web, because some things are sold to the dark web. You understand? Just here, take it, whatever. And during all that, people worrying about their credit cards, they're worrying about their social security, their birthdays, let's say you got a master or something, the bachelor, whatever. But they don't be thinking about the more important things like your children's records, your doctor records. You know what I'm saying? Your vacation spots, or if you have this or a family, whatever. All that can be traced now by these AIs, and it's instant. It's not like how we have to think about it. Go down there on it, already done. Has a plan out for how to do this and do that for you.
And it doesn't work the way you think it works. right? I don't think people understand how advanced this shit is.
Right.
Like, when you click a box and say, yo, click if you're not a robot, right?
Right.
Most people think that them checking that they're not a robot is how it figures out they're a robot. They're not a robot. That's not what it's doing. I don't know if people know that. It's not about you clicking the box saying, I'm not a robot. What they measure is what you do before you click the box.
Right.
You know what I mean? They measure your mouse movements before you click the box. Clicking the box is the end of the test. Because if you was a bot, generally bots move in direct lines and shit. With a constant speed. Humans usually don't.
So you're saying if I started going up and down in lines,
I'll probably ask you again. But here's the thing: you won't be able to maintain a constant speed anyway.
The thing is that I don't mean to cut you off. The thing is, you would probably try to do it so perfect it'll know it's not. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You would realize, like, let me try to, and you're already trying when it would just already. You understand?
Like, for instance, when you see that when you click the pictures, it says like click all street lights, and you click on all the street lights. Most people think that it's checking to see if you click the right picture. That's not what it's checking.
Right.
What people don't know is what it checks is what you did, your browser history before you came on the page.
That's what it's doing.
Yes. Because a bot usually wasn't browsing other things. It didn't look at Christina Aguilera, before it went to the page. That's what it's checking. Right. You think it's checking headlights. That's not what it's doing. Hey, look, everyone thought that's what it was doing, but that's not what it's doing. That's how advanced these companies are.
Right.
They get that is for you. That headlight thing is for you to feel comfortable. You know what I'm saying? When in actuality, it checks your browser history.
Right.
Bots don't have browser history. They're not just browsing. They doing exactly what they're told to do. They're not actually browsing the internet casually.
Right.
Looking at different things, different speed, mouse is moving around. That's not what happens. So that's what it's checking.
Right. Damn right. Absolutely. And speaking of AI, the AI mindset himself, the mountain, Harry Allen, he's like a goddamn AI. You know what I'm saying? Give that man a mic. He's gonna teach you something real quick. He's gonna break it down like an artificial intelligence. Man is the goddamn computer. You understand? But Harry Allen, the man of many ways and traits.
The man, the myth, the mountain
has stepped into the goddamn building, man.
Give it up for him.
Listen, I forgot that the iPad is ready. Give it up for him. Yeah, boy. But listen, man, listen, and this is why it's important for brothers and sisters to realize all the things of our oppressor is made to destroy us. You know what I'm saying? It's made to absolutely destroy us. I know it might seem entertaining and this, but when you get down deep to the root, it's for us to be destroyed.
Efficiently.
Absolutely, efficiently. Because just think about you lose your cell phone. What happened? You don't know what the hell to do.
Right.
You don't know what the hell to do. Let them know, how you lose your cell phone. What happened?
Oh, man, these days you lose your cell phone, you finished, man. All right, man. Yo, what's going on, man?
What's going on, man? You here now? Listen, hold on. Boys. Nah, we good, man. Let's go. What you want to talk about today, man?
Oh man, we can get into it. What y'all talking about? AI?
Yeah, we were talking about the AI, man. How they gonna track us going through the windows now? They don't even need the cameras no more, man.
Oh yeah, I did hear about that. They're gonna start being able to use your Wi-Fi to scan you inside the house.
Yeah, listen.
Even more than that, what we was going over just now was how they starting to track you in your car,
right?
Not just the license plate. So they have a new AI. And they just implemented it in the UK, where it tracked 300 people in 3 days. You know what I mean? Not wearing a seatbelt, holding their phone. All of those is illegal.
Yeah. Yo, it's so funny, man. I remember General Muhammad saying, man. General Muhammad said a few classes a few months ago, whatever, when they was talking about the robot dogs,
right? When
the police implementing those robot dogs, I actually seen NYPD using those right here in Manhattan. You know, they implement them all the time now, right? And I guess they was talking about something police. And General Muhammad he said something to the effect of, yeah, it would be more righteous to have police, to have robots police us in our communities because of how vicious our oppressor is.
Right.
In fact, I remember I remember that day. They were showing a video on Commander General Yohana's show of the police manhandling somebody in a police car, something like that. He was like, "Yeah, man, it would be more righteous to have." Let me tell you something. The police would use that technology,
Right.
scan the whole house, and still accidentally hurt people inside.
Right.
Like we done brought out articles on Let It Be Known where the police went into the school and
Right.
accidentally hurt the child doing a demonstration on gun safety.
Right. Listen, damn that. What was it? Probably almost 5 or 6 episodes ago, we talked about the child witnessing her mother during some abuse. The police officer, they didn't even get through the door. He shot everybody through the door.
Right.
He didn't even want to look and see what was like inside. He said, "I'm shooting through this door because I know black people is in there.
Right.
Monsters live here. Bye, 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 bye." And you saw how that went.
Right.
Yeah, man.
Right.
It's
Who shot
almost
the kid?
It's almost as if if the AI went on its own and policed us, we would be safer.
Right.
You know?
Here's the problem. The AI is being built by racist people.
Right. I remember you went over that on the War Report
That's the issue.
a few months back.
Every time they implement AI, it turns out racist. Like they implement it off of data from the internet, but
Right.
people don't realize the internet is racist,
Right.
especially against black people.
Listen, absolutely.
So the AI learns to be racist.
Listen, I agree 100%. But let's move on. I don't want to stay too much on AI, but let's get some articles. What we got, Ashar, with the articles real quick? What we got to talk about? Because I know our oppressor is out there in the world making crazy decisions that's affecting Black, Hispanics, and Native Indians,
As
man.
they do.
So I have this from the Insider.
Right?
It says dozens of jailed kids, nearly all of them black, must be removed from a former Louisiana death row unit after facing cruel punishment, judge says.
So let me get this right. So these kids, it's removing kids from a prison
that were in the quarters of where the death row inmates used to live.
Why you got the kids?
Like, look at
in
just
the
think,
death row
just think
part?
about how our oppressor is, man. It's like he's psychologically training them. This is where you're gonna be anyway.
Right.
Just think about look how it looks in here. Get used to it.
You'll be back.
And then you'll be back and just look, we're gonna move you because you're not supposed to be here. Listen, our oppressor is a goddamn devil, man. He's a goddamn deceiver. This is why we need to do the things we do. This is why we have things set up for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to overcome these things, man.
Right.
But go ahead, Ashar, read what you got.
Gun. A group of incarcerated children, most of them black, spent nearly a year jailed in a former death row wing of the Louisiana State Prison. Court testimony later brought to light concerning conditions. They were forced to stay in their cells for sometimes an entire day.
Damn.
One child was pepper sprayed for throwing liquid at a guard, and they were denied adequate education. Louisiana State is the country's largest adult maximum security prison.
Listen, and the funny thing, I wonder why it's the largest state prison in the South.
Right.
In Louisiana. I wonder why. Keep going, Ashar.
It says Louisiana is the country's largest adult maximum security prison. It is sometimes called Angola. The name of the old prison, a slave plantation.
Of course.
Where the new one now sits.
Yeah, of course.
So they turned the plantation into a prison.
Which it's the same. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. Ain't nothing different.
Wow.
Go ahead, Ashar.
It says Louisiana Governor John Bell Edwards first ordered the kids moved to Angola last summer. Months of legal battles followed. Now, after a year, a federal judge has intervened, ruling Friday that the kids must be moved out of the prison by September 15th. For almost 10 months, children, nearly all black boys, have been held in abusive conditions of confinement at the former death row of Angola, the nation's largest adult maximum security prison.
And you know, so, like they have to remind you where they at.
Right.
Like it keeps saying the adult prison. You know what I'm saying?
Death row
These are
units.
children.
Right.
These are children.
It's like, why do you have children in adults, the largest adult prison in Louisiana that was a slave plantation? And why are they all black?
Right.
Don't forget that. They're all black children. This is conditioning right here, one-on-one.
Why'd you move them there
Right.
in the first place?
Listen, that's what they think about our children, man. That's what they think about us.
Get used to it. 'Cause
Right.
When you grow up, you're gonna be here.
Right. They're damn near the TV no more. They're not putting it, they're not saying they're on TV. They actually putting them in the prisons now. Before they used to tell us in movies and video games and TV shows, they like, it's not fast enough. Put them in the prison by mistake. Put them in there. Leave them in there for what was it, 10 months? Damn. Was it 10 months, Rashad? That's what it said?
For nearly 10 months.
Listen, man, he's a goddamn deceiver, man. Oppressor, like, come on. And yet, you know, we should have compassion for him. Have compassion for him. He forgot. They don't act like that no more. It was a long time ago. This ain't a long time ago. This happened recently.
Right.
This happened recently. How am I going to forget something when they keep doing it? They keep doing it. They don't allow us to forget about the past. You know what? Listen.
That's heavy.
The mic.
It's heavy what you're bringing out. It keeps happening over and over again. Just like you and I was speaking about not too long ago. The history of Louisiana, period. Like a lot of people don't know the cotton gin was invented in Louisiana.
Damn right.
And the brothers and sisters in Louisiana had a unique experience different than all the rest of the United States with regards to slavery. Louisiana, that specific territory was ruled by the French originally.
Right.
So there's a lot of brothers and sisters over there that's Levites, you know, and you don't even know. They have Creole history. They would transport slaves back and forth from Haiti, back and forth. Under French rule, the French is like we look at France, they give us the impression today that France is such a romantic and hospitable country.
Right.
The French, like every Edomite nation, is just as disgusting and horrible as they can be.
Right.
You know, just like we was discussing how they had a different outlook than the Anglo-Saxons with regards to our women.
Damn right. Right.
You know,
Yeah.
and they had a whole culture behind sleeping with our women. And that's where the masquerade ball comes from.
Right.
They would make the black women put on the mask. That way they could go in there and do their thing and not have to acknowledge them as human beings. And they got a whole culture about that down there.
You damn right.
You know what I'm saying?
And the thing about, I don't mean to cut you off real quick, right? And the thing about what people need to understand about slavery, these other countries were not, they didn't just look like that. That's crazy over there in America. Every single European country had their hands into the Atlantic slave trade. When they got over here during the 17 and 1800s, they were making money. Because guess what? We had the biggest, the boom ever. You need cotton. Guess where you going? I'm going to America in Louisiana or North Carolina or Georgia. And guess where France got their cotton from? Germany got their cotton from. Africa got their cotton from. They came over here. Listen,
85% of the world's is 1860. 85% of the world's cotton.
So just think about that.
Produced by us.
So have the cotton you have on. Just think about your great grandmother probably picked that. Every white man's shirt and cotton and socks. Our ancestors picked that for them. They wear it. Just think about that. They wear it. And they want us to forget about it. Forget about what your ancestors did. I know they picked lovely cotton. It's beautiful on me.
Damn right.
But you forget this. You just go to work 9 to 5 and keep doing what you're doing. Don't worry about the past. All right, Ella, come up here.
Come on, sir. Give him a hand. Let me tell you something. A lot of people don't know that the very name of the company, Fruit of the Loom, is a slight to black people because we are the fruit of the loom.
Right.
You know, Anytime you look at some disgusting picture, Francois Dapper Dan, some great Frenchman that they honoring for doing something stupid, some great astronomer, and he's wearing all them goofy clothes with that wig on, it looked like 15 layers of clothes. All 15 layers of cotton was picked by our ancestors right here in America.
Right.
And most of it in Louisiana. With this cotton gin, this invention, and I'm glad I'm up here with Officer Yawala, give him a hand, because he gives testament to how our oppressor will always use technology to oppress us. Like new technology come out, we think it's a good thing. Right. It's ultimately used to oppress us. So when the cotton gin came out, you could imagine if you was a black man on the plantation and somebody said, hey, this is going to make your work easier, we probably all rejoiced.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. It actually expanded slavery, and that expansion happened first in Louisiana, man. And so the conditions were harsh in Louisiana. And then when you go years later, the crack epidemic hit Louisiana harder than anywhere else.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, when you look at what happened in 2005 with Katrina and how the government treated our people, let me tell you something. You can see the same mentality that our oppressor has towards our Levite brothers in Haiti, that he has towards the Judites and Levites, or the Negroes and the Haitians in Louisiana. And that's proof, absolute proof, when you look at how they dealt with Katrina, man, and how they dealt with them brothers and sisters down there.
It's ironic you talk about Katrina, because like people tend to think the hurricane itself destroyed Louisiana and these black places. And it's like, no, what destroyed them was infrastructure, right? So when they talk about the levees breaking, right? The levees only broke in the black neighborhoods.
Right.
And that's about allocating money for infrastructure.
Damn right, man.
You know what I'm saying? That's like fixing potholes in your neighborhood.
Right.
And then it leads to an earthquake. Yeah, like that's like equivalent. Like it wasn't that they all survived the hurricane itself. You know what I mean? But when them levees broke, they flooded the whole thing. And levees only broke in the black neighborhoods.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then what happened? They boarded it all up.
Boarded it all up. And then everything they've subsequently done afterwards has been to gentrify New Orleans and box our people out. They shut down all the wards and all the projects, shipped all the poor people around all of these different places. You have tons and tons of New Orleans. Yo, it's so funny, man. It's the most funniest thing in the world. I remember I was somewhere down south, man, and I would consistently hear people refer to how upset they are that they have all of these New Orleans neighbors.
Right.
Like people from Mississippi and from Atlanta, all of these different black cities
they would
all be complaining like, yo, like we got all of these New Orleans neighbors, you know what I'm saying?
It led to its own migration.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's a very unique thing.
Very unique thing, man. And now after this happened, and I want to get back into that article a little bit too, because that Angola prison, I want to get into that a little bit as well. But that mentality of the tragedy happened and then our oppressor using it as an opportunity to reclaim the city is what we see happening right here in Harlem.
Right.
It's what we see happening in every city across the nation. And so you see that the crime that was typically allocated, to the projects and to certain neighborhoods in New Orleans after Katrina, that spilled right into the French Quarters and Mardi Gras and a bunch of those other places, because you left all of these young black people displaced.
Yeah, desolate.
Desolate.
It's nothing. They have nothing.
Right.
Literally. And who's going to starve to death in silence?
It's a horrible thing, man. And you watch that first 48. I hate to keep bringing up first 48, man, but you watch that first 48, man, and they be in New Orleans as well. A lot of their cases is in New Orleans, man.
Right.
And it's such a shame when you look at the devastation down there and the poverty. And then what brothers do and put their life on the line to end up in places like Angola. If we could get back to that.
Just think about the timeline, right? So you don't allocate money for the black neighborhoods so they can be secure in a crisis. Crisis happens. You buy up, they have to move out, obviously. You buy up all the land, And those same black people, you start building a large prison for the people you just created the issue for.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And now I get to lock them up and get paid again.
Right.
Remember, the state get paid from prisons. Like, you have to understand that. Like, when they say it's tax dollars, it's tax dollars. You know, and they use prisons to gerrymander different populations for voting and such.
Right.
Like, these are multifaceted plans that happen, and it seems like, oh, it's just a crime opportunity. But if you set up the opportunity, it's not really a crime opportunity. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Listen, it's no different than how they slum neighborhoods so they can gentrify it. So I'll give you a perfect example. You look at Chicago, right? And you want like, damn, there's like a war going on in Chicago. Like, all these gangs is fighting. What they don't tell you is, like, in the early 2000s, they knocked down all of the projects in Chicago and put them all in one area.
Right.
So all the gangs, the rival gangs, now they're all in one area.
Right.
So instead of fighting for major territory, they fighting for streets. I'm 300 block. I'm Lamron. So you get to see how, because of gentrification, leads to what the Chicago you see today.
Right.
And then guess what happens? Now we get to lock everybody up. Now we get to lock and make all the money. And it looks like it just happened. When in reality, that was gentrification that caused that.
Right.
No, it's all right. It's all right.
Yeah, that was gentrification that caused all that. You know what I mean?
100%. 100%, man. And it's and you see that you see that happen a lot, man, where they're able to come in and just literally disorient the entire neighborhood, the entire community. And throughout this process, it leaves an opening for gentrification. So let's see what we got over here real quick.
It says, for almost 10 months, children, nearly all black boys, have been held in abusive conditions of confinement at the former death row of Angola, the nation's largest adult maximum security prison. David Utter, lead attorney on the case, wrote in a statement on Friday, "We are grateful to our clients and their families for their bravery in speaking out and standing up against this cruelty. While rates of U.S. youth incarceration have fallen in recent decades, declining 77% between 2000 and 2020, racial disparities persist."
Wait. Now, you see that statistic you just read? You ever wonder why the news never say that?
Right.
If you watch the news, all they're showing is people running in stores and crime is skyrocketing. But in reality, crime has been going down tremendously.
Did they say 77%?
77%.
I mean, I would say that's a significant drop.
Right.
Let's give our black youth a hand. Right. You leave it up to the record companies. You leave it up to the record companies. They'll have you thinking it's 1993, the crack epidemic out here.
Right. And here's something people don't know. People don't know that these stores are doing this on purpose.
Right.
They're doing this on purpose. What you don't know is insurance fraud. Right? All the stores got hurt in 2020. All of them. No money. Right? The biggest thing stores recover money from is theft. But the biggest theft is internally.
Right.
But if you can make it seem and you can start writing it off as external theft, you can get your money back and insurance claims. So then they start doing things on purpose, like saying, hey, if it ain't $10,000, don't even stop them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Making sure they film all y'all ransacking and shit, and then they're just claiming it's more than it is.
Right.
So you ever notice when you see those stories of people running the stores, running out, you also hear the amount it costs, right?
Right.
It's like they stole $8 million worth of Louis Vuitton. They didn't. But that justifies it for their insurance claim. They play the news thing for the insurance companies. So now, and then politically, they use it to demonize black people. When in reality, crime has been going down ridiculously.
And what's so heavy about the crime going down, right? That just shows blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians we can do it. We can
Right.
be. We are God's
Right.
chosen people.
right.
We are good people. Don't fall into the statistic that, like, listen, we smoke crack, we're gang members, we this and this. Listen, there's a little bad. There's always a bad grape on the vine.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But collectively, guess what? We're good people, man. And that says a lot. It says what? We was down. Go back to it, Rashard. I know you don't got the mic real quick, but where it says declining 77% between 2000 and 2020.
And if I
For
may,
the youth incarceration, right?
and if I may, that day is important because whenever they talk about crime increasing, they start at 2020. The problem is in 2020, no one was outside, no stores was open, so any crime is going to be an increase from 2020 because it was a global event where no one was shopping physically, no one was outside, there was no crime, the store wasn't open.
Right.
You know what I mean? But if you actually look at the actual statistics, look at that. That's just 20 years. That's just 20 years. Crime is going down. Now, here's the thing. Why is crime going down, but police budgets are going up?
Right.
So the police, they're going to sing a different tune.
Right.
They're going to say
Right.
it's crazy, they're raping, because they're getting paid.
100%.
And they're going to start arresting you for stupid shit. So like for stupid stuff, like, you know,
Right.
jaywalking and jumping.
Right.
Why is jumping turnstiles all of a sudden so important?
Right.
Because an arrest is an arrest. They don't when they do the budget, they make the budget off of arrest data. It don't specifically say what type of arrest, and there's no measure of the severity. No, arrest. I don't care if you spit on the street, and I arrest you for that. That counts as an arrest, and that's going to be used to bolster the budget. Well, in reality, crime is going down.
But what's so heavy? I don't think brothers and sisters understand, right? Because just think about what they're saying. I'm not gonna put it on screen, but I'm gonna read it again. It says, while rates of U.S. youth incarceration have fallen in recent decades, declining 77% between 2000 and 2020. Racial disparities persist. As of 2019, black children were 4.4 times more likely to be incarcerated compared to the white children, according to the Census Project. Now, listen, if it's down 77% since 2000,
right,
compared to 2020, just think about all the incidents that happened from 2000 to now.
Right.
All our brothers and sisters getting killed, all the stuff they've been saying, we're monsters, they're running with guns, they doing this, they doing that. It was always down.
Right.
Just think about it. It was always down.
It was declining.
No matter what they said, it was always going down. That's how you know they're devils, man.
Yeah, right.
That's how you know we can never trust them.
Right.
Because when it's all said and done, what they do, they release it. They release the information and say, listen, they was always doing good, man.
Right.
It was on 77%. That's amazing.
That's amazing.
That's amazing.
7%.
So just think about all our people who died for the sake of them saying they need to be reincarcerated.
Right.
They need to be rehabilitated. They
Right.
need to be said, such and such, Haryala. I don't mean to blow you up.
Right.
But listen, man.
Yeah, he need to be rehabilitated. You know, listen.
When
George Floyd was a victim between this time and this time.
Yep.
All of these incidences and all of these unarmed black men that that were unalived in the streets happened between these years.
Right.
But listen, it's not just, it's all of us. Just think about
Right.
it. All of us grew up thinking, listen, we bad.
Right.
We this, we that. 18. I might as well do this and that. Listen, most of us right now grew up in the 2000s.
That's right.
Right.
This is talking about this generation.
Right.
It's been down 77%.
And if I may, here's what people don't understand. Only 4% of black people commit any crime ever.
Damn.
I bet you didn't know that. Because they take that 4% and they put it on the news every day.
Damn.
Only 4%, meaning 96% of people is just living lives.
Right, because we can't do no.
We your bus drivers, we your train
Right.
operators, we your people in the stores, we your customer service. We're just living life. Anybody doing nothing crazy?
Just think about it. How can we do wrong when I'm too busy working?
Right.
Right.
That's the thing, Ariel. And that's what white privilege is.
Right.
White privilege is getting to tell another person, y'all don't know what y'all doing while I'm making all the money.
Right.
That's white privilege. I'm telling you right now. Just think about you going to work, you doing this. Your boss said, "Listen, you should come in early.
Right.
You should probably try to save." That's white privilege. How you know I'm not saving?
Right.
How you know I'm not doing this?
Right.
I'm at the heart. I'm working check to check, and you telling me my children, my generation is the most craziest generation.
Right.
Super predators, right? Let's not forget that. Super predators. Goddamn, we're incredible Hulks.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But declining 77% between 2000 and 2020. Listen, man, I don't want to hear it. Black people, Hispanic people, Native Indian people, you the greatest thing on this goddamn planet, man. Right. And it shows. Statistics shows it. Because guess what? This ain't from me.
Right.
It ain't from me.
You ain't make it up.
I ain't make this. Not only I don't own no insider.
Right.
If I was owning it, trust me, I would not be slavering right now. I would be making them bank off insider. But these is our oppressors telling us right in our face, right here, and then tell us what a month later that we're the most dangerous group.
Gotta get a hold on them.
We're the most evilest group. We gotta put them in what? These large these prisons.
Angola.
Right.
We got to put them in Angola. Horrible thing, man.
And that just goes to show you what propaganda really is and how strong it is. So whereas you start believing, even if you aren't committing crimes, you start believing, well, you'll hear it online. People say, well, black people do kind of. No, only 4%. People forget. Listen, all NBA players are black people.
Right.
Oprah is a black person.
Right.
Like, I don't think people understand how it's only 40 million of us in America. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If it was actually the way they say it is, it'll be Mad Max.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If 40% of us was committing crime out of that 40 million, every city would be ridiculous.
Right.
But no, in reality, it is only 4%.
Right.
4%. The lion's share of us is just going to work, keeping this thing running, raising our kids to do the same thing.
Right.
But let them tell it. You're a super predator. You know what I mean? Like this is why we call them a deceiver. They have deceived you. Right. That's the past 20 years right there.
Right.
Now, do you feel what that's saying?
Exactly.
Right? Do you feel like crime has been going down? Do you feel that way? Or do you feel like, I don't know, cat's been turning up lately? Or do you feel that?
Right. And what the office is bringing out right now is the exact reason why all of our viewers and all Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians need to subscribe to every single ISUPK channel online, whether it's YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, or X, man. You got to get on there, like, share, and subscribe. Why is that? Why is that so important? Why is that so important, man? It's so important because if you leave it up to our oppressors' media, he is going to make you think that every goddamn black child in daycare is a super predator looking to rob you. Right. If you leave it up to multimedia, if you leave it up to the news, if you leave it up to these headlines, they will have you thinking that black crime is the worst it's ever been.
Right.
The priests and prophets will bring it out right here on Let It Be Known that it is down substantially.
Right.
And yet they're still locking our children up and treating them with the most harsh mistreatment they can be treated with, man.
The problem is you think hip hop is real.
Right.
You think hood movies is for real.
Right.
You thinking that is everywhere. You thinking that's how it is. It's drilling and shooting, and it's not the case. You know what I mean? And these are corporations pushing this. Here's some insight for you. The largest consumers of hip hop are white people.
Oh, damn right. Damn right they are.
That's a little insight for you.
100%.
So just know when you're a hip hop star, he goes to number one. Most of his consumers are white.
100%.
The corporations are white.
Right.
The ones pushing it on you are white.
And the key to the door is having access to that audience.
Right.
That's why when you get in hip hop, you can't get nowhere until our oppressor comes along and it makes you sign some contract or some blood oath or whatever else nonsense. Right. What he's really saying is, I'm going to allow you to get to the audience of my people.
And if you
which
don't-
have all the money.
if you don't push this agenda,
Right.
if you ain't talking about this, I can't put no money behind it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
If you're not wearing this chain, if you're not screaming out this new opioid product, Percocet
Right.
or whatever,
Right.
if you're not wearing this new designer, if you're not like I think about it sometimes, it's the craziest thing in the world. Like if you're a black man and you're just in your normal mind, you would never wear Versace if you knew who Versace was.
right.
He is a disgusting sodomite.
Hey,
Was.
Hey, all you brothers, listen, I don't know every city, but I know in New York, all you brothers out here wearing Como de Garçon, you know what that means in French? Do you know what it means in French?
But bring it out. Bring it out.
It means like boys.
Damn.
Como de Garçon. Hey, you ever see a French film and they say Garçon? They're calling a boy. They're saying boy. Just understand that.
Like boys.
You're at a restaurant and they say garçon, they're saying boy, right? Como de garçon.
Damn. Damn.
That's what you're wearing. That's what you're spending your check on.
They snuck it in there on them, huh?
Like boys.
It's not, they ain't sneak it in.
That
they,
ain't sneak.
They just if you don't know French, if you don't know the language, you just don't know what you're wearing. But they know. They cold-heartedly. Yes, I like boys.
Like boys.
And I'm
Damn.
dressed like one.
Did you know that?
Right.
Did you know that? Did you think to look it up to see what does this mean that I'm wearing? Huh? No. And the fuck they make fun of
someone else. Right.
I got the garçon. What you wearing? What you wearing?
Right.
TJ Maxx. I'd rather wear TJ Maxx, nigga.
100%. Right.
Are you what message are you accepting? Understand that. You know, something I want to touch on, I never really touched on. Listen, Percocet and all these are brands.
Right.
Right. Big Pharma is one of the largest, industries in America.
Right.
You know what I mean? They fund both sides of the presidency, everything. Don't you think if they wasn't benefiting from this, they would stop you from saying their brand name in your songs?
Immediately.
Don't you think? Don't you think Percocet would be like, stop, send a cease and desist to your record label?
Immediately.
Why do you think they don't?
They would shut you down immediately.
Why do you think they don't?
And I tell you what, listen, we can even put it to the test. Listen, I'll make a Percocet commercial.
Listen, they will send you a cease and desist right away.
Immediately.
Right away.
They'll shut me down immediately. Listen, it won't even make it to goddamn TikTok. They won't even make it. You put it in a Migos song, and
because they profiting off of it.
It goes viral.
You don't even understand that you supporting Big Pharma. Your mama's on Medicaid, bro.
Right.
She can't even afford the thing but you pushing Big Pharma. You all these
Right.
alcohol brands, all stuff. You pushing it.
You pushing Big Pharma, right?
Yeah, like you don't even see it. You don't even see it.
But with that, right? Let's get into the next article because
Let's get
it correlates with each other, right? So let me see. Right here.
Ain't that amazing, though?
It says a 1-year-old died and man in custody after opioid exposure at Bronx daycare. A 1-year-old boy died and 3 other children were hospitalized on Friday after showing signs of drug exposure at the daycare, officials said. So it's all right here. This says the call came in Friday afternoon. 3 children at a tiny ground floor daycare in the Bronx could not wake up from nap time.
Oh my God.
Emergencies medical workers arrived at the 6-story brick building around 2:45 p.m. to find a 1-year-old unconscious along with a 2-year-old boy and an 8-month-old girl. The responders at once suspected drugs. They gave the young children the overdose reversal medication with Narcan, and took them away. Another 2-year-old boy who had left the daycare shortly afternoon was taken to a hospital after his mother noticed an unusual leakage, lethargic had replaced the normal
kinetic energy of a toddler.
Kinetic energy of the toddler, the water.
thinking like he used to be off the. He usually
Right,
off
right.
the
He
wall.
was Wyatt.
He was off the wall. Why he so
Right.
tired? What,
Little Jimmy used to be Wyatt.
yeah.
Why is he over in the corner knocking off?
If you ever had a toddler, you would know.
Right.
You would know they don't stop. You know what I mean? They loud. Ah! You bring home from daycare, all of a sudden this little dude, he's sleeping, he tired. Nah, mom. Nah, something wrong.
Right.
Something wrong.
Right. Let's get a little bit more into
They usually have the energy of 1,000 suns.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now all of a sudden, little Jimmy. Now, what's curious about this is they couldn't wake up from nap time. It's sounding like you gave him something to sleep. Why would it be a nap time they can't wake up from? You understand what I'm saying? Like, it sounded like you gave him something to sleep, man. It's so wicked. It's so wicked.
You know, possibly. Let's read a little bit
Let's
more.
get a little more. Let's get a little more on it. Yeah.
Let's read a little bit more on that.
Let's see. It says Nicholas Dominica, who would have turned 2 in November, was pronounced dead at the
Damn.
Montefiore Medical Center on Friday. By early Saturday, the other 3 children were in critical or stable condition, and the police were questioning a person after discovering equipment typically used by the drug dealers on the premise. Nicholas' death brought together 2 crises that affect New York and the nation at large. Working parents, desperate hunt for affordable, dependable child care, and the scourge of opioids such as fentanyl, which contributed to about 75,000 overdose deaths in the United States last year.
I just want to go back for 1 second just to clear a few things up. You know, me being from the Bronx and all. Now, we can just go up a little bit more. I just want to clear something up because they making it seem as if, you know, daycares in the Bronx normally have drug dealers on the premises. So when we read this part right here again, it says, look, go up a little bit, Bubba Show. It says Nicholas Dominica, who would have turned 2 in November, was pronounced dead at Montefiore Medical Center on Friday. By early Saturday, the 3 others were in critical or stable condition. The police were questioning a person after discovering equipment typically used by drug dealers on the premises.
That's very vague for some reason.
That's pretty vague. Like so, and then when you go down to the next paragraph, what they're saying is true. Okay, what they're saying is that because of the child care crisis that we have in the city, I'm a victim of that myself.
Right.
As well as the opioid epidemic, you know, things like this happen. But I don't want to make it seem like blacks and Hispanics normally set up drug operations near their children in the Bronx.
Right.
You know, like this, you know, this is an out of the way situation here.
Fight for the Bronx.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like they trying to
Damn
make
right. Throw that bomb. Let them know. Where the bomb at?
Don't let them talk about the Bronx like that.
The bomb in there somewhere. Fight for them, man.
Fight for the Bronx, man.
Nah, they trying to make it seem like, you know, listen, these 2 problems in the city. So, you know, parents are forced to combine their drug operations with daycare. No, that's not our solution, you know, but unfortunately, this happened here in this particular daycare. Nicholas' death brought together 2 crises that afflict New York and the nation at large. Working parents, desperate hunt for affordable, dependable child care, and the scourge of opioids such as fentanyl, which contribute to about 75,000 overdose deaths in the United States last year, man. The Bronx has been hit particularly hard by the drug which can kill in minute quantities, man. A horrible thing, this fentanyl, man. There's a lot of warnings going around to cocaine and heroin dealers that a lot of their product could be, you know, laced with fentanyl. A lot of people are dying by accidental fentanyl deaths, man. And it's unfortunate that these happen, you know, to these particular children. But you know, what are your thoughts on this thing, sir?
There's a connection I've been making with the fentanyl crisis, connecting it directly to the Iraq war.
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt.
So the reason has grown in popularity so much is, believe it or not, Afghanistan doesn't let the U.S. Use their poppy anymore. I don't know if y'all know that.
Right.
Afghanistan is run by the Taliban.
The Taliban.
now.
When the Taliban took
And
Afghanistan,
they
and
said-
listen, and if you don't know, Salaki to cut you off, sir. If you don't know, that's what that whole thing was about. You know, so now that they won, they got the dough.
Yeah, and believe it or not, the Taliban, the evil Taliban, don't allow drug use.
Right.
So guess what? They said we won't let you use our poppy to the U.S.
Wow. Give the Taliban a hand.
Can you imagine that? Can you
Imagine that.
Yes,
Right.
Imagine that.
Imagine that.
So China, who don't have poppy fields, but do have a lot of fentanyl.
Damn.
So the U.S., because what you don't know is the U.S. is the ones bringing in the drugs. They diverted from Afghan poppy to Chinese fentanyl.
Damn.
So they've been cutting the heroin with fentanyl. Now, it just so happens that this is something about the U.S. This is the military. But why would why is it lining up with the drug crisis? Why are military operations aligning with the U.S. drug crisis? Because they are the ones bringing it in.
100%. Without shout out for that.
They've always been the ones bringing it in. Frank Lucas used the military.
No doubt about it.
Freeway Ricky Ross used the military.
No doubt about it.
But no one's blaming the U.S. military for drugs.
Right.
We look at Rick Ross, a big.
And you know what that shows? It just shows you how our president once again is a deceiver and a liar. Because what's his motto? We don't negotiate with terrorists unless it's drugs, unless it's money and drugs, and then we can negotiate whatever you want.
Right. Unless it's heroin. Unless it's heroin. And it seems since the media is bought, they're not going to tell you this. The media will never tell you this. But that is the correct connection. That is why fentanyl exploded on the scenes.
Right.
We're getting all these overdoses on fentanyl is because the U.S. can't get the same amount of heroin.
Right.
They lost Afghanistan.
Now, riddle me this. Let's see who can answer this question, right? Every project has to have a testing ground. Every major project has to have a small audience to test the product on before they put it into large scale distribution.
They call it the
Can
project.
somebody please tell me what city, what place is always flooded with all the heroin first, all the cocaine, all the fentanyl, all the people in this particular place has to take on the burden of our oppressor's drug dealing just so he could get it together and distribute it to the rest of the world. What city is that? I'll wait. Anybody in the chat? Is it LA?
Going once.
Houston?
Going twice.
Miami?
Going 3 times.
Toronto?
Going 4 times.
It's right here in New York City.
Yes.
Harlem, New York. Every single week we stand out on the corners and we watch our brothers and sisters nodding off the Chinese fentanyl because our oppressor has to bring it here first. The people of Harlem have been the victims of our oppressor's drug dealing since the 1930s.
Right.
Generations upon generations of our people right here in what they refer to as the foul hundreds are due to our oppressors' foul dealings with the other nations in order to sell drugs here in America.
Right.
Black man, all of your sons and daughters had to perish before any of our oppressors' sons and daughters even hear about the drugs. We was on crack here in New York before anybody knew about it anywhere else in the world.
Right.
We was on heroin here in New York in the numbers game while people were still being lynched in the South.
Right. Right.
Word, man. When you look at headquarters, man, you look at brothers on the forefront, right here in ground zero, fighting against this opioid crisis. We right here. It's a disgusting thing, man, and we live with it and see it every day.
Meanwhile, that family that runs that company is getting rich.
Right, the Sacklers.
There we go.
The Sacklers. Let's not bring them up.
Why they never went to jail?
They from Brooklyn. Why they never went to jail? Why they never got locked up? It's a horrible thing, man. Like, what's next, black man? Like, they gonna combine technology with some new drug and just have people just spaced out 24 hours a day.
Right.
Like, they just coming up with the new thing.
And remember, like, you may not get it, but this is Big Pharma too.
Right.
They involved with this. They're getting the funds.
Right.
They're buying your presidents. They're buying your local whoever, aldermen.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right, man.
They're letting your artists promote their products and your songs. You're dancing to your destruction.
Right.
You're dancing to it.
Big Pharma are the people who make you feel better and the people who make you sick.
Right.
The very people who create the medication to make you feel better are in bed with the very people that create the food products and design the horrible things in the environment that make us sick. Right here in New York, listen, everybody say it's a conspiracy theory. Listen, I don't care. I'll scream it to the top of my lungs. I know for a fact, I know for an absolute fact that Big Pharma is responsible for putting all these goddamn trees here in New York.
Right.
I know that for a fact. When I was growing up in New York, I never had allergies.
Listen, I can go in on that.
They bring these trees. These trees ain't even naturally from New York. They bring these trees over here and put pollen in the air that natives is not used to.
You know what the problem is?
And then you run to the store for Allegra every 5 minutes, and they advertise it every 5 minutes.
It's even crazier than you think, right? There's a law, right, that you can't have male and female trees, right? Because what they don't want is free fruit growing from the trees.
I believe that.
So
I 100% believe
they only allowed.
Only a devil could do that.
Only a devil. So they only I believe it's female trees. They only allow female trees, right? Since there's no male trees, the pollen just keeps getting produced because they're not being pollinated.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So then you have a tree that's putting out excess pollen because the tree don't know that there's a devil who only put male trees or whatever.
Right.
So the tree keep giving out pollen because it's not getting pollinated. So maybe I need to put out more pollen.
Damn.
And that is why you shake a tree and you see all the pollen coming out because they're only allowed to have one type of tree.
And then you running around sneezing to death.
It's only because they don't want you to get free food.
Right.
They want free fruits. Listen, you look at places like Florida, you look at places like you see what happens when you do have free fruits. Niggas grab the fruits off the tree and sell them, and they don't want that.
Right.
They don't want that because that's cutting into whose money? Their money. And with a place like New York, everything is shipped in.
Absolutely.
Remember, New York is an island. So all the food is being shipped in, meaning those companies are getting all the money. So so you sneezing and coughing because there is a devil above you who won't allow trees to pollinate just so you can't get a break. Just so your oppression continues. You can't have no free transportation. You can't have no free food.
You can't have free health care.
You can't have free health care.
You can't take care of yourself. You can't do that. You can't do that.
What you saying is so heavy, sir, is if you notice, they import all of those trees.
Yeah.
Like those ain't trees that just natural, you know what I'm saying?
No.
Like I remember when we was coming up, there was no tree. The blocks was in line with no trees.
Nope.
Like they started that new green New York, you know what I'm saying? Because all the pollution, you know what I'm saying? Who created the pollution?
Exactly. But with that new green New York, there's a rule. You can only have certain type of trees. They can't be mixed sex trees.
Damn. So you had an increase.
So, I just want to make a point. Listen, what this is showing you is, food grows on trees. You know what I mean? But when you're the devil, you know what I mean? Right. That's why you're not allowed to have a garden in your front yard. You ask yourself, why in New York I can't have a garden? I can't have a garden in my front yard. I bought this place, didn't I? Yeah, but you can't. You can't. This is why you're not allowed to collect rainwater in New York.
Right.
Rain falls from the sky. Yeah, but when you're the devil. Look, he's sneezing now. He's sneezing now.
They don't need the proof of deceitfulness.
Hey,
I'm telling you.
Hey, who's getting that money?
Right. Listen.
Who's in charge of Allegra and Claritin and
Right.
Sounds like Big Pharma to me.
Listen, man, Barakatah Yahweh shot for the ISUPK and the Command General Yohana, man. Because I walked these streets for years looking for somebody to blame. You know what I'm saying? Lo and behold, it was our oppressor the whole time, you know? You know what I mean? It's a crazy thing, man. But yeah, man, just looking at these different aspects, we'll see how Big Pharma has seeped its way into all of these things. Big Pharma's in hip hop.
Right.
When your son wants to be a favorite rapper, you might as well send him to school to be a pharmacist technician because he's going to be working for the same goddamn company.
Right.
It's the most disgusting thing.
Here's the difference. When you're a technician, they pay you for it.
Right.
Your son is promoted Big Pharma for free. Big Pharma's not paying him to say Molly Percocet in the songs, but he's doing it.
Word.
What do you think lean is?
Right.
That's Big Pharma. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like it's like they don't see it, but that's what's happening. These are corporations. That's the corporations running hip hop, and there's corporations you see, and there's corporations you don't see. Like you don't see Big Pharma, and yet none of these companies get cease and desist letters. You know what I mean? Not one. Listen, Clear Channel runs all the radio stations. Why are they allowing that to be on a radio? Why are you not censoring that out?
Right. And then listen, go to the executives at Big Pharma and ask them. They are going to disown every Black and Hispanic that has ever mentioned the name of their products. Right. They're going to say that is not the use of our products. They're going to say our products are not for recreational use. Our products are to be used for such and such purposes, and we do not condone these people saying this about our products.
So how they get them?
Right, and then and then at the same time, they will not stop it at all.
These are the same people who said it wasn't addictive.
Right, it's not addictive.
Listen, these are the same people who said Oxycontin, one of the most addictive opioids, is not addictive. When Oxycontin came out, they said it was a miracle drug. It's a painkiller you can use that's not habit forming, that you can continuously use, and it won't abuse your liver. This is what they said, and everybody jumped on board. And then when they couldn't get Oxycontin, they start using heroin.
They said this is what they said, right? Yeah. As a salesman, you know the main selling point. Right. The main selling point was the coating. They said, "Listen, man, it's not addictive, but even if you think it is, we put this special coating on it, right? It's a special time release coating, so you could never get addictive." And they sold that coating. They went to every doctor and was, listen, we selling the code. Listen, the coding stops all of that. Yeah. You know? And then, 100 million unalives later, they had to admit that the coding is not right. Not only is the coding not right, but like I've explained before, people who use drugs simply take the coding off. Right. It's not easy to do. It's not hard to do. It's a horrible thing, man. And the truth of the matter is that our oppressor always has to find a righteous way to do wrong. Right. I would feel much better if the Sackler family just pulled up on 125th Street in some baggy clothes and hoodies and sold Oxycontin, you know what I'm saying, on the block with the homies. Right. I would feel much better if the Sacklers came down to the projects and stood in the hallway and ducked the cops with the homies selling drugs. I would feel better that way. That our oppressor will never unrighteously sell drugs. Our oppressor has to change the laws of the world so that he can righteously be a drug dealer.
I was just about to say that. They just ain't arrest enough Black people yet.
Right.
Once they get enough Black people, then they'll open up the industry where they selling it openly, like weed.
Right.
Like weed.
Like weed. Right.
Like weed. You know what I mean? And y'all still can't sell it. Y'all still can't sell it. it's federally illegal.
Right.
So the feds might come after you, and they'll come after you. They're not coming. The stores on the block, they ain't right, but they'll come after you. You understand?
Listen, man, this legalized weed thing is such a scam and such a slight to blacks and
You
Hispanics.
won't get the voucher to open up a weed store. Just let you know. Niggas,
Right.
Niggas ain't getting it.
Right.
You wonder, like, what's the certificate? Ain't nothing. There's nothing that says if you do this, you'll get it. It's random.
Somehow the laws have allowed for the armed security industry to muscle in on the marijuana industry.
Right.
It's the stupidest goddamn thing you can see in the world. If you've ever been to Vegas and you go to one of the weed shops, as soon as you walk in, it's 5 brothers there with bulletproof vests and AR-15s, right? This is 24-hour staff that this business has to pay in order to operate. It's the stupidest thing. I've never.
Because listen, the bank said we won't accept your drug money.
Right.
Not
Right.
yours. But JP Morgan got caught with a boat full of coke. But your drug money, we won't accept it.
Right. It's the craziest thing ever, man. And what happens is that when you attempt to open up the business and get started between the government and all of these outside industries, these greedy lawyers, these greedy security companies, who's all gonna muscle in on your profits and make your business down to nothing.
By the way, if you don't hire these security companies, just know that the masked man who's breaking into your store and stealing your money is
the security company, right?
You don't know that. You may not know it. You may not understand that. Maybe Y'all Wild is out of his mind. I'm just gonna let you know. The company that came to you and said, "Hey, do you need security?" No, they're the ones who's gonna rob you.
Listen, man,
and then you're gonna hire them.
It's so weird to me. I know grandmothers in the projects that sold weed for 30 years. Ain't nobody never run up in there and robbed them with automatic weapons. You know? Like, for what reason you opening up this business is such a slap in the face to blacks and Hispanics. Right. And before I move forward, under no circumstances do we advocate for selling or smoking marijuana here in the ISUPK under Commander General Yohana.
Right.
But this is not a topic about using or selling drugs. It's about black business, and just to show how they use the laws and under industries to muscle in on black business. Now, selling marijuana when I was coming up was a primarily Benjamite business and Simeonite business here in New York City. It was an illegal business, but they was really the only brothers that you can get it from. White men from Canada got into the marijuana business, and through generations and generations of stranding together more potent seeds, create the marijuana that you have today. The marijuana back in the day wasn't the marijuana that you got today.
Right.
The marijuana back in the day, you can still function normally. Nowadays, they didn't hype it up and put, 100% this, 100% that. That's how you got the industry that you have today. This happened from people in Canada who began that industry, the High Times crowd.
Right.
Okay? So now, as big, all these different strands is popularized, black people begin to get more money in that industry.
And Big Pharma wins again.
Right.
Big Pharma
wins again.
Big Pharma found out a way to even get your weed money.
Right.
Understand that. The Big Pharma came in, they lobbied the government to make it legal. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah.
The government didn't have a change of heart. They didn't just say, let's stop. No. They lobbied the government to make it legal so Big Pharma once again can run your community.
Right. If you look at the statistics, when they legalized marijuana in Colorado, right? The amount of arrests for marijuana went up. It went up because now you have a police force that's geared towards cracking down on any operation that doesn't fall under that.
Right.
So that's how that happened, man. It was a horrible thing. And so they muscled in on that industry. And if it got to the point, if you was black and Hispanic and you just happened to be into that illegal business, which is a horrible business to be in, but let's say if you've been doing it for years and you So you look at it and say, oh, they're legalizing it now. Why? Well, you know, I have 30 years experience doing this.
Right.
I understand the product. I got a clientele. You know, maybe this is something that we could do. You know?
Oh no, my brother.
Oh, nah. That's not happening. You got to pay the lawyer in the city, in the state, in the feds, in the security company. Then you got your competition. And then after all of that, the Arabic man across the street is just selling it out of his store with none of that.
Right.
He ain't got no security. He ain't got no guidelines.
If you notice, well, you might not notice. People might not notice, but they've been doing raids in New York. They've been doing raids. All these weed shops, if they ain't playing nice,
right?
Yeah, listen, I'm not in the underworld. But what I hear is all these weed shops, they're not playing nice with NYPD, they're gonna get raided.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just like they did with the mob. If you don't pay your dues,
right,
we gonna remember it's still federally illegal. So literally they can raid your shit anytime they want to. So like raid anytime they want to.
Right.
So just understand that. Like that is, you know, this is what happens when Big Pharma even takes over even your illegal. They want even your illegal money.
Right.
And you allow them to do it.
Yeah, right.
Listen, man, black man, all of this stuff is ours, man. All of this stuff is ours, man. When you look at Big Pharma, you just look at a group of people who've been able to take over agriculture and take over the medicine and the herbs and all the things that we read about in Genesis 1. All of it is ours.
Right.
All of it is ours, man. But it's important to look at how our oppressor is going to use every single industry, every single thing he can, and ultimately use it to come back and attempt to destroy us, man. That's what we see with this opioid epidemic, and it's a horrible thing.
Very horrible.
Listen, Most High in Christ, man. Give it up for that, man. I was dropping some deep knowledge, man. Deep knowledge. Like, what's the knowledge for today, man? What's the five?
What's the knowledge, yo? What's today's knowledge?
You dropping the knowledge, but listen, man.
I got a thread, just a web up here.
Listen,
you know
Most High in Christ. Listen, it's about that time. But listen, I want to do something special before we go, right? It's 6 o'clock, but I know we're going to go over the time a little bit. I want to do something. I want to introduce something today. So moving forward, we can keep doing it. I want to introduce Black history towards the end of the show.
Nice.
I want to
get that ahead.
Yeah, I want to introduce something positive or just history in general for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, because we need to remember Black history. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And not only this is going to play into the class that I'm doing tonight, 7 o'clock, ISUPK Long Island. It's going to be on Let It Be Known. You can tune in here, tune in ISUPK headquarters, tune in ISUPK Long Island. Go to those YouTube pages. We're gonna have the we're gonna have the Long Island class, and we're gonna go over Black and white grief.
Right.
But before we go into that, right? If I could have one of y'all brothers just read this article, right?
Yo, can you read that?
Or Shar, it's not gonna take that long.
You got right?
Right here, I'm gonna add it to the stage. Boom.
Yeah, come front. Black history is important, and it ain't about February. There's a lot of history that Black people generally don't know, and it's unfortunate because you hear Black people wanting things and saying, oh, "I wish we did this," and don't know we already have.
Right, absolutely. And you know, it's ironic they were talking about Harlem and all this. So I already. The funny thing, this was my camp speaking yesterday. We didn't get the chance to do it, but I wanted to tell brothers and sisters about the rise and fall of the Harlem Renaissance, because we always talk about, like, listen, we can never do this, we can never do that. Black people can't do this, we can't accomplish nothing. So right here is going to show you how we accomplish the rise of Harlem, the Renaissance, the Black Harlem. Everybody knows.
Right.
You understand? But if you could, Hariyala, please just read right through. We're going to get through it real quick, you know what I'm saying, because it's at the end of the show. But next time we're going to start it a little bit earlier so we could dive deep into the history and everybody could talk about it. But go ahead, Har.
Right.
The rise and fall of the Harlem Renaissance.
That's right.
The literary and artistic influencers of the Harlem Renaissance were facing a similar theme to one that was central to the greater modernist art movement.
Right.
Many of the modernists explored life through the lens of greater global reach and the frequent melding of cultures the world round. The Great Migration that resulted in the Harlem Renaissance similarly brought black people from different parts of United States.
You leave. All right, no sir. And that's important. Just remember, it said the Great Migration that resulted in the Harlem Renaissance similarly brought black people from different parts of the United States. So it's letting you know, brothers and sisters, not just from New York, not from just New Jersey or up in Buffalo or on Long Island, but you have brothers in South Carolina, North Carolina, California, Chicago, Alabama, Utah, up there in Canada, whatever you came from, coming all the way here to New York and Harlem. Keep going, Har.
And even different countries.
Even different what?
Countries.
Listen, different countries. It's not just that. So you got your Benjamites.
Right.
You got
Germany.
Right. You got your Brazilians.
Right.
Your
A lot of
Jamaicans,
Simeonites.
right.
Yeah.
Your people from Mexico, because he was in Mexico too. Keep going, Har.
Right. Yeah, God, sir. You mentioned like typically when people think about Harlem, they think about Black Harlem.
Right.
You got to remember there's an Issachar, a Mexican part of Harlem. Where we are right now is called Spanish Harlem. It's a Puerto Rican part of Harlem.
Listen,
you can go up to
right up the block.
Right.
Tino Towers is right behind us. Goddamn Puerto Ricans all over everywhere, right there.
That's right, man. Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying?
And this is just showing that it was brothers and sisters from different tribes, different places that all contributed to this, man. Most High in Christ.
Right.
Into urban communities where it is primarily the color of their skin that united them.
Right. Listen, just think about what that says. You went to a place where everybody had the same color skin. Not to say, listen, we don't believe in skin color because, listen, Bob Marley is a so-called Edomite to us.
Right.
It's always forever what your father is. It's through the blood. But this right here, no, you went down the street. Everybody looked like you.
Right.
Everybody. And you was like, damn, we got businesses, man.
Yeah.
You went to a place where you knew was in a goddamn sundown town.
Right.
You knew there was a place you went to the doctor, he might not try to kill you. You know what I'm saying? Your wife could walk down the block and guess what? Everybody's going to be safe. This and that. This is the place. This was a place to be at. Keep going, Har.
Poets were central to helping form a new identity for different cultures merging within new social, geographical, and political contexts.
Right. So just letting you know, our poets, our people who wrote and painted was a big part of this movement.
Right.
It's to show how we doing, what it looks like, just like that picture right up there. I don't think they see it, right?
Yeah, this picture right.
Right, they see it?
Yeah, Con, they can see it.
Okay, Con, yeah, that's good enough. Yeah, look, just like the picture right there. That's part of the Harlem Renaissance. Pictures like this.
Right.
You can see what was going down.
Right. Go ahead, Har, with the unless you wanted to say something with the article.
No, sir.
No, keep going.
The Harlem Renaissance. Salakia.
No, that's all right. Take your time.
The Great Migration Movement, a movement of Southern Black people, not simply northward, but from generally out of the deep South.
Right.
William Cook describes the motivations for leaving the South as push and pull forces that led to millions
of what?
Millions.
Remember, this is not no small group of people. It's
man.
Millions. Keep going.
And it's lucky if I may.
Go ahead, huh?
Because I don't even want to get into it that deep because the Great Migration is an entire class in itself.
Exactly.
You know? But I mean, millions of black people.
Right.
Like, when's the last time we seen millions of black people do the same thing?
Right. And just think about it. Just imagine millions of black people going to New York.
Right.
Harlem 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Out of 1 West. Imagine every black Hispanic area is coming here to New York.
Right.
And it's letting you know, we did it before. It happened.
Right.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Har.
Of people who migrated during the first half of the 20th century. Push forces included lack of freedom to own land and move freely, growing Ku Klux Klan numbers, and a multitude of dangers to their health and well-being associated with the racial tensions they faced in everyday life.
Right. So right here, there's basically straight up oppression in the South.
Right.
Straight up oppression. So they all heard like, listen, we got to get out of here. We got to move up north with the boys.
Right.
We got to do something because down here we can't flourish. We can't accomplish anything. All that we just read, we do it We're suffering still to this day. But the problem is we don't want to do what we did back then with the Harlem Renaissance.
Right.
We don't want to see where the area is that can flourish, and let's all move down there. We don't want to do that no more. But yet, guess what? We read an article when we 77% under what was it, incarceration, down in violence. So how come, Shlay, no matter where we go, we're going to be fine with each other.
Right.
We might have a gripe here and there, but all together, we're going to be fine.
You're going to be all right.
The statistics that they have for us is absolutely wrong, man.
Right.
Absolutely. We're going to be all right if we come together. Keep going, Har. Let's go through it.
Push forces in Slovakia.
No, keep going.
The end of World War I stimulated many of the pull forces that instigated people leaving their lives behind for the hope of the North. In the midst of the post-war economic boom, the urban areas, most of which are in northern states, were hiring factory workers in droves. Those workers were not only increasingly protected by unions, but they could also find affordable housing.
Right.
Williams goes on to argue that the Great Migration was the greatest muse for artists of the Harlem Renaissance, which created a kind of feedback loop for further flight to the north, while Harlem, as the mecca for African American culture and its satellites in cities like Chicago and Detroit, expressed themselves in a newfound identity for Black Americans. More people were drawn into the movement, the more people were drawn in. The more vibrant and vogue, as Emily Bernard would put it, the Renaissance became.
Right. This just shows you how great it was, man. Just think about it. It's like, Harlem, it was the damn mecca for Black excellence. And then you have the satellite cities. You got, the Chicago, the Detroit, and others.
Right.
And what's so heavy about this? Listen, I found this out recently. I didn't know. And that's why reading is important. There's more Apollo theaters. That's not just the only Apollo on 125th. There's Apollo in Chicago, Detroit. I was like, God damn, I didn't know that.
Right.
I didn't know that. And why didn't nobody tell me? Why all these excellent Black people ain't tell me there was an Apollo in all these other places?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's great.
Just to recreate that Apollo.
Right.
That Harlem Renaissance.
And that just shows you how great things are, man. When we come together, we can build wonderful things.
Right.
The Apollo in Harlem right here shouldn't be the only one recognized. This should be all of them. All of them should have the prestige like the one on 125th, man. You hear the Apollo, you know what should happen? All the Apollos should be on the goddamn screen. Not just the one on 125th. It should be the one in Detroit, one in Chicago, one in New York. I know it's like few more in other places. But they all should be recognized as a whole. Right. You understand? Like the U.S. government. The U.S. government talks about the White House. They want to add everything else. The Pentagon. They want to add this. Right. They want to add the U.S. military. They want to add that. The fourth layer of this and that. The backyard of the White House. They want to make sure you know everything when it comes to the U.S. government. But with us, we only want to see whatever is the most important version of it. We only want to make sure whoever's the popular person gets the credit. When it's everybody should be getting the goddamn credit, man. Keep going, Har. Let's finish up strong.
The Harlem Renaissance was vogue because it attracted an audience beyond the Black population.
What?
Attracted an audience beyond the Black population.
Just like how it always happens, man.
Right.
When something's popping with Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, what happened? Everybody else gets attracted. What's going on up there in Harlem? What they doing? What they doing up there, man? Because we left them up there with nothing, but we saw millions of Black people from the South and other countries and other states come up here. So what are they doing? Go ahead, Har. Which was a great part.
Which was a great part of their political motivation, around which literary publications were created to express the new Negro, Crisis Opportunity, and the New Negro, an interpretation published African-American works where artists were safe to express their sometimes decisive and decamonious images of their cultures, past and present. Further, because the Renaissance were lauded as one rich in song and dance, their nightlife was among the liveliest in any urban area.
That's right.
where mixed couples were free to interact, and where black entertainment was always the feature. The Harlem Renaissance went out of style by necessity with the Great Depression. Now, that's something to think about there as well, man. Yeah. That's something to think about as well, because that's always something I bring out as well, man. And that is, that is the number one crime that our oppressor commits against us, is by plunging us and keeping us in poverty.
Right.
The Harlem Renaissance proves that poor black people can come together and build something.
Damn right.
But the Great Depression proves that greedy white men can destroy that.
Right. And the thing about the Great Depression, they're not even being honest in this goddamn article.
Right.
Because the Great Depression, we didn't suffer at all. We didn't. The problem is they saw that we were flourishing, and they was like, we got to get rid of some of these jobs that they have. We got to do this. We got to do that.
Right.
So anything that we benefited off of during the Great Depression, they took it away.
Right.
Anything that they was like, all right, we send them this. We got businesses with them that work with their Harlem Renaissance, their Great Black Migration.
Right.
But we got to take this away. We got to starve them.
Right.
We got to do this. We got to do that. And then we started a fall. Because you got to remember, the Great Depression ain't about us.
Right.
They don't talk about us during the Great Depression. They talk about it was a hard time for them. Remember, we know how to survive off goddamn tuna fish and crackers, oodles and noodles, hot dogs and buns. Remember, we grew up not knowing what an actual hot dog bun was, man. I didn't know what a hot dog bun was until I got older. It was just sliced bread for everything.
Slice of bread.
Sliced bread for everything, man.
Eat it fast, too.
Yeah, it was your French toast, your pancake, your hamburger bun, your taco. You know what I'm saying? Your what was it? The sloppy Joe. Listen, that white bread was everything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It was absolutely everything. Sometimes your mom might get English. What is it? English muffin.
English muffin.
She might get the English muffin once. But the point I'm saying is, we lived through the roughest and grimiest times and survived. This shows you right here the Black Renaissance.
Right.
When we came together. So the Great Depression is, once in our life, our oppressor felt what it like to be a Negro, to be a slave, and he failed horribly at it.
Right.
To the point he makes everybody remember when we was at our lowest, white people was at their lowest state, and it can never happen again. It can never, because we're gonna make sure you go through it before we go through it. You gotta suffer first before we ever go through a Great Depression. That's how they deal with it. You understand? But keep going, Hara. Let's finish up, because
the nightlife that had once drawn outsiders to the African American culture vanished overnight.
Right.
However, because the movement was largely literary, future generations were left with something lasting to hold on to in regard to where their new identities came from.
Right.
There was, in a sense, a cultural map left behind that said, this is our soul.
And that's what's important, man. That's what's important. You don't have to read the bottom one. The bottom's nothing, right? But that's what's most important, man. And the Fox Theater in Detroit. The water Paratazar. Listen, that's what's important about the whole thing. It's letting you know, out of all that, you gotta remember our culture and soul was in this goddamn place, man.
Right.
You gotta remember that. You walk down 125th. The Apollo is supposed to remind you of a great time that we had, man, and what we were about. The ones in Detroit, the ones in Chicago, any other place that I might not know at the moment where the Apollo was, it's supposed to remind you what we did as a people, man, as a nation.
Right.
We got together out of all the differences. Remember, they say we can't get along. They say when we get along, we kill each other, we shoot each other, we steal each other's girls. All we know how to do is get high and drunk and do nothing and be so-called super predators. That's all they say we are. But history, as it says right here, our souls and cultures in this place show otherwise, man.
Right.
It shows how great we can be and how great we are. So for the sake of Harlem, for the sake of Detroit, for the sake of any other so-called Black Renaissance place that we have or had before or still own, let's do it for them, man. Let's do it for us. Let's remember where we came from and do it absolutely again. But this time, let's have some commandments, man.
Right.
Let's have
Damn
some
right.
laws. Let's have some statutes. Let's have some guidelines. Let's not let our so-called oppressor in next time. You know what I'm saying?
Damn
Let's
right.
not let him in. Let's only deal with ourselves more, because at the end of the day, we might get our own towns, we might do our own thing, but there's always some people that look back like they did,
Right.
like Lot's wife.
Right.
And they look back like, damn, I can't go to America. I can't just invite Jimmy over.
Right.
It's just Jimmy. No, because Jimmy's gonna invite Alex and then Danny and then Joe
Right.
and then his mother, his father, and then they invite their nation. And you know what comes with that, right? White supremacy, man.
Right.
So for our sakes, let's do better, right? Let's
Right.
do better.
Right.
So let me
And that's very damn right, man. Damn right. That very same Great Depression is what brought in, all the Italian, Irish, and Jewish immigrants that later, flooded Harlem. During that Harlem Renaissance period, you had certain brothers that was on drugs.
Right.
Heroin was primarily a white man's drug.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, Most High in Christ, give that a hand.
Listen, damn right. And listen, that's our Black history.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? Listen, there's gonna be plenty more on the show. Next week, I'm gonna have something else. But the point of this subject and this point at the end of the show, I just want to leave people with Black history, because Black history is important to us to learn and remember these things. It lets you know that we've accomplished many things.
Right.
But our oppressor wants to make sure we are put down and forgotten about the wonderful things we have done and will do. You understand? But that's all I got, man. That's all I got, huh?
Damn right, man. Damn right.
That's
Wrap
all
it
I
up.
got. I know you don't got it. I got it right here for you. The quote, huh? Let them know where we at.
Yo, y'all already know, man. Once again, we are live right here at ISUPK headquarters.
That's right.
Let it be known. Who knows what episode is, but you know who's in the building. We got Priest and Officer Karab in the building. Give him a hand. Straight out of LI, man. Make sure you check out his classes on ISUPK Long Island. He's also on every single social media. We got Priest and Officer Yawa Allah in the building. Give him a hand. You know how he do, man. Addictive Chaos, the War Report. You know how he gives it up.
Right.
And of course, I am the Mountain of the Most High. Priest and Officer Haya Allah. I'm always in the building, man. We're going to get up out of here. We're going to be right here next week, 4 o'clock, ISUPK headquarters. Shalom.
And real quick, before you cut off, remember, I'm doing a class at 7 o'clock. It's going to be live here on Let It Be Known, ISUPK Long Island, and ISUPK headquarters. So spread the word that the class is on black and white grief, the difference
Black and
between.
white grief.
All right, so shalom, Israel.
Shalom.